Arizona Cardinals get a win on Monday Night Football. Jacoby Brissett slices and dices the Dallas Cowboys Swiss cheese defense. And yet Jonathan Gannon is still playing pretend, telling us that Kyler Murray is the guy. Let's talk about that and much more on this edition of the Ben Garcia Show.
The Ben Garcia Show. Yeah. Woo. Best show in the land. Yup. Listen. Come and get your information from Ben Garcia. Get the latest on your quarterback, running backs, and receivers. Tune in, so any other show you don't need them. Any news that he giving out, please just believe him. Giving out the latest prediction and top-notch analysis. Wanna hear the truth, better have thick skin like calluses. The latest move that your team just made can be damaging. The dudes ain't speaking no facts, they just be rambling. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. Yeah. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. The Ben Garcia Show.
What is up? Welcome in to yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Thank you so much for tuning in on this, special Tuesday edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Normally, we are live Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, but because of Monday Night Football, it kind of threw things out of whack, so I'm here with you guys on a Tuesday. So with that being said, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button, follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Get in on the conversation. DM me, at me. Let's have a conversation about the Arizona Cardinals. And I try to get to all you guys, although yesterday was a little busy, so I apologize if I didn't. But appreciate you guys being here on this edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Reminder, I don't really pay attention to the chat a ton during the show. Sometimes something will catch my eye. But if you have something that you want me to answer, I will try to get to it at the end of the show. Of course, if you send a super chat, I'll get to it right away. But I have a show planned, so I'll take everything else at the end, and I'll try to answer your guys' questions then. Although today might be a little bit of a time crunch because Tuesdays are a little weird for me. So the Arizona Cardinals go on Monday Night Football and completely manhandle the Dallas Cowboys. That game was not close. I know the score was close. I think it was 17-7 after the block punt or 10-7 after the block punt. The score was close, but it never felt close. Outside of being worried that the Cardinals were going to blow that game because that's just what the Arizona Cardinals do, the Cardinals were in complete control of that game through and through. It was not even close, just how in control the Cardinals were of that game. And yet, Jacoby Brissett was awesome last night. I want to pull up his statistics because I know he didn't have 300 yards passing, but he was I think it was 261 yards passing, but I want to get that up correctly. He was really good again last night. He sliced and diced, give credit where it's due. The Cowboys defense is not very good, but he was 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, while being sacked 5 times. Here's the other thing. Outside of the missed pass interference call that ultimately resulted in an interception for Jacoby Brissett, he's also taking care of the football. I know people keep saying, Kyler Murray is the better quarterback, but here's my question to that. Here's my question, genuinely. Is he? Is he the better quarterback? And maybe he is. Maybe he is. And maybe just for this system, Jacoby Brissett is the better quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. And I would buy that argument as well. But you are getting all the good things with Jacoby Brissett and none of the bad things that you would get with Kyler Murray. Have you scratched your head once at a Jacoby Brissett throw and say to yourself, what in the world was he looking at? What the hell was he looking at downfield? No one was open. Last night, if Kyler Murray is the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, they lose that game. And here's why. Jacoby Brissett was sacked 5 times last night. Does anyone think Kyler Murray getting sacked 5 times wins that football game? Or do we think, from what we've seen from Kyler Murray over the last couple of years, is he's throwing the ball into the dirt, he's taking intentional grounding penalties, he's not fighting through adversity, he's not delivering darts while having guys draped all over him? Jacoby Brissett, that dude's toughness should never be in question. And I think it actually gets the players around him excited to play with him. Because when you see your quarterback take a shot right to the chest, but still deliver a strike downfield to Michael Wilson for 50-plus yards, you want to play harder for that guy. You know the guy you don't want to play hard for? The guy who takes intentional grounding penalties, who goes down before he's even touched, and oftentimes is too scared to get hit. Will dive short of the first down marker because he knows he might take a lick. Not only is Jacoby Brissett the better quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals right now, he's the better fit, and I think players secretly would rather Jacoby Brissett be the starting quarterback for this team. I don't think they want Kyler Murray to come back. And you're getting all the good things that you would get with Kyler: strong arm, accurate, on time, and none of the bad things, the what the hell was he looking at downfield interceptions. So I do kind of feel bad for the Kyler Murray guy that was through and through a Kyler Murray guy until the bitter end. I do feel bad for that person because I'm a little frustrated too. I'm actually, guys, whether people like my sports opinions is irrelevant. I am more interested in knowing that you know that I work incredibly hard, tireless. Like, I'm tired right now. I'm doing this show right now with an exhaustion headache. But I'm just thrilled to be here. But with that being said, I don't really care if people like my opinions. I appreciate that you guys are here and you guys want to hear my side of the aisle, my argument, if you will. But I'm more interested in people knowing how hard I work. Like, hey, man, that Ben kid, he talks out of his you-know-what, but damn it, does he work really hard? I'm more interested in that. And here's what pisses me off. I work tirelessly. I have been doing this for almost a decade now. Not this show, but this business for almost a decade now. I have been working tirelessly tooth and nail to make this sort of thing happen. And I defended Kyler Murray for a really long time. Up until, 3 months ago, I was through and through a believer of Kyler Murray and his skill set for this offense. And I got to tell you, it really pisses me off that regardless of how hard I was working to formulate the best opinion or come up to the best conclusion, whatever it looks like, it was sitting right in front of me the entire time. It was sitting right in front of me the entire time. I chose, like a lot of Cardinals fans, like a lot of Kyler Murray, as they call them, stans. I don't like to say that. It feels a little rude, but still. I chose to believe the peaks of Kyler. I chose to believe the superhuman, supernova plays from Kyler Murray. That's what I chose to believe. Instead, what I didn't choose to believe was the inconsistent play, was the fact of questioning, can he actually see receivers downfield? Is he big enough to play in the NFL? It's so obvious. This is not a Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold type situation. I just don't think Kyler's going to work. I just don't think he's going to work. He has a very particular set of skills, and you have to tailor your entire offense around it. But I don't think you can coach toughness and willingness into players. That stuff is instilled in you when you're 3, 4, 5. I just don't think you can teach that in Kyler. I think to this point, Kyler Murray is going to have a really hard time working in the NFL. And it was so obvious. It was right in front of me. He's an inconsistent football player. What people say behind closed doors from what I've heard, but I can't go on record with it because, it's not something that, it's not my words. Kyler might not be the greatest leader. I think he's more of a leader. I think he's more mature than when he walked into this league. But I don't think he's the greatest leader. I don't think he's the most mature. And so when you combine all those different things, It was very obvious. It was blatant. And instead, I chose to blame the coaching staff or Drew Petzing or, whatever it was. Everyone else besides Kyler. We are 7 years in. And the only common denominator from that 7 years is Kyler Murray. And for a 3-week sample size, you ripped Jacoby Brissett out of the offense. You ripped Kyler Murray out of the offense. You inserted Jacoby Brissett. And we are all saying to ourselves, man, they're a competent offense now. And we're all saying that because we're too scared to say Jacoby Brissett is just better than Kyler. We're just too scared to say that. Because, guys, truly what we've seen over the last 3 games is that the offense is actually pretty damn good. It's not that the offense is competent. They're actually pretty good. They've hung almost 30 points on the Colts, Packers, and Cowboys. So it's not it is not, is the Cardinals offense any good now? Is it competent? Is it a grown-up offense? It's actually, dare I use the G word, good. It's actually a good offense now. And the only common denominator is you ripped out Kyler Murray. What does that tell you? What does that tell you, guys? So, I've already said this before, it's obviously done. But it's become more abundantly clear as time and as weeks go on. Maybe Kyler Murray works. Maybe in the NFL. Maybe there's a specific offense. And then that's the case, right? Well, people are like, well, watch him go to the Vikings and succeed. I was like, okay. So you're conceding Kyler Murray needs 2 good wide receivers, a good tight end, 2 good running backs, Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones, Kevin O'Connell, offensive-minded head coach, Brian Flores in that defense to succeed in the NFL. That's what he needs. And then if that's the case, how good is Kyler? How good is he? If he needs all of that to succeed, you can't tell me he's a top 10 guy then, if you're telling me he needs everything. So, just another eye-popping moment from Kyler. And here's the other thing. And I want to get to Walter Nolen, and I want to get deeper into Jacoby Brissett. It would be a fireable offense. It would be a downright fireable offense for Jonathan Gannon to start Kyler Murray next week as the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals against the Seattle Seahawks. Not only has he never won a game against the Seattle Seahawks, but forget what you think, Gannon. Forget what you think. Ask your players. Does anyone think now, with Trey McBride, who has 5 receiving touchdowns now from Jacoby Brissett in 3 games and 3 all-time from Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Sr. had 10 targets last night. Michael Wilson looked good again. This is your daily, weekly, Michael Wilson needs more targets thing. Every week, he just shows up and produces. He just doesn't get enough opportunities. You take those 3 guys and see what they say behind closed doors. Hey, Trey, Marv, Michael, I just want to talk to you guys for a second. Just, what are your weekend plans? Shut the door. Hey, who do you guys want at Kyler? Who do you guys want at quarterback next week? They all would say Kyler Murray. They all would say Kyler. Who do you think this defense wants? You think they want the guy that consistently puts them out on the field and puts them in bad positions in the fourth quarter, and then everyone blames them when they lose? Or do you think they want the quarterback that consistently puts up 25 plus points every week? Who do you think they want? Who do you think Drew Petzing wants? Drew Petzing was this close to losing his job. Hell, I was one of the people that said, fire this buffoon. The only buffoon is the guy talking into the mic right now. I've never been one to stay on a bad take. I'll move when I need to. Saying that the Cardinals should have fired Drew Petzing 4 or 5 weeks ago was just a bad take. It was just a bad take. And now you say to yourself, over the past 3 weeks, whoa, wait a second. Were we just too hard on Drew Petzing? Were we just too hard on Drew Petzing? I think we were. So forget what Gannon thinks. Forget what Gannon wants. Ask the people around you who are directly impacted by Kyler Murray. Ask Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson. Ask Drew Petzing, whose offense has looked really good. And you know what? Kind of creative over the past 3 weeks. Ask the defense, who doesn't have to spend every waking moment on the field because this offense keeps stalling out. It would be a fireable offense to start Kyler next week. It would be a fireable offense. Here's what I think is actually going to happen. I think there's a phantom IR stint coming for Kyler Murray. Meaning, and I tweeted this out and people thought I was reporting it. Guys, I will tell you if I hear things. I will tell you per source. I am not a newsbreaker. I don't want to be a newsbreaker. That actually sounds terrible. No interest. And I've got nearly zero sources. I've got some, but I'm not really interested in using them because, again, I'm not a newsbreaker. I don't pretend to be. I'm an opinionist. But I've got mostly zero sourcing. This is me guessing. And I put it on social media. People are like, are you reporting this? No, because I'm not a reporter. I think there's a phantom IR stint coming for Kyler Murray because I think no way in hell is his camp, his people, allowing him to get benched for what has been lifelong backup in Jacoby Brissett. I think the Cardinals are going to play nice, keep those relationships good in the NFL like you always want to do, and say, you know what? What if we tell everyone his foot injury is worse than we think? He's not going to be ready. We're going to put him on IR for 4 weeks, and then by then, we'll just put him on IR for the rest of the year. Kyler Murray's camp would probably want that, makes their guy look better. It keeps him open to viable trade destinations. And same with the Cardinals. They're like, he can't play, sorry. He's injured. Like, it's a cop-out for everything. It's a cop-out for everything. That phantom IR stint is coming for Kyler Murray. That's my prediction. Because there is absolutely no way in hell. There is absolutely no way in hell that they continuously run him out there, especially against a team in Seattle that he has literally never beaten before. So there's that. That's what I think is next for Kyler Murray. I actually do think Kyler Murray has played his last snap as an Arizona Cardinal. I don't think, unless there's an injury to Jacoby Brissett, that Kyler Murray plays another snap as an Arizona Cardinal. Could he get traded? No. Like, I don't think so. That'd be really hard to do today. Today's the trade deadline. I bet they call around, though. Like, hey, New York. Any interest on Kyler? New York Jets? I think they call around, but like I think it's just too hard to do. It's just too little time. Had this happened a couple of weeks ago, then I probably would have said yes, but it's just too little time. It's just too little time. Here's my other thing. I got 2 more things to get into, so I got to speed through these things because I have to get to my real job. This is just fun. But I appreciate all 32 of you guys being in here today. It's really awesome. Thank you. Reminder, we are live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 7 a.m. This week's a little different. Monday, Tuesday, Friday because Cardinal game. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. for the most part. Really quickly, is Jacoby Brissett just good now? Like, is he just good? This is why I won't turn down the idea of, like, maybe he is just better than Kyler Murray. Maybe he is just better. Forget talent. Maybe he's just better. Maybe it's just his fit in this offense and it's helping him. His, history with Drew Petzing that dates all the way back to Cleveland. But he reminds me of Geno Smith. Geno Smith was a lifelong backup in the NFL. He got on a Seattle Seahawks team that was very talented defensively and offensively, and he just didn't crash the Maserati. He made 1 or 2 plays a game, didn't ever throw consistently boneheaded interceptions to lose games, And Jacoby Brissett kind of is in that same realm. Lifelong backup who has found a home in Arizona, has a history with the offensive coordinator in Drew Petzing. And is he just good now? Because what I saw last night, it was on time, it was on rhythm, it was calculated attempts to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball. He was accurate. I'm like, who are you and what have you done with Jacoby Brissett? Like, people would tell me, like, who's a better thrower of the football? Over the last 3 weeks, Jacoby Brissett is just a better thrower. He's got a massive arm. He can chuck it 70 yards. Like, that Jacoby Brissett he just might be good. He just might be good at football. I don't know if he's just going to be a backup. Even before this game, I would have ruled out. There is no way you are starting Jacoby Brissett next season. You are drafting a guy and starting him immediately. And now I'm like, are we sure? Like, maybe the Cardinals just draft an offensive lineman with wherever they're going to pick to solidify that right side, who Jonah Williams continues to, continues to be guilty of nearly killing Jacoby Brissett, needs to be sent to Alcatraz. But Jacoby Brissett, like, the ability for him to stand in the pocket, deliver strikes on time, like, it's everything this offense needed. Maybe he's just Geno Smith, and he's going to revitalize his career, and he gives the Cardinals a little bit of a window to kind of figure out this quarterback situation. Now, I'm still not there yet. I don't think Jacoby should be the starter. But you're like, should he be? Like, should he be? His last night was by far the best Jacoby Brissett game. And again, the caveat of it's the Cowboys defense. They're terrible. But the calculated attempts to get Marvin Harrison Jr. involved, it was really impressive. I want to talk about this too, because I had a tweet that went like viral. It's got like 250,000 views. Most of them quote tweeting me saying the craziest thing that I don't think I can say on YouTube. This is why it's so late, because the Cardinals won. Like, this is why this is so late in the show. Call me old school. Call me old school. This 27-year-old, maybe old soul. If I have a problem with my role at a company, whether it's the Locked On Podcast Network or my normal day job, no way in hell am I sending anyone, especially not my parents, to go talk to my boss. Marvin Harrison Sr.'s quotes on the offense, no one is saying that for the large part of the season, he is not wrong. He is absolutely correct, actually. All I'm asking is, who did that help yesterday? Who did that help? Does anyone think, and if you do, we're on just different wavelengths, that Marvin Harrison Jr.'s or Marvin Harrison Sr.'s comments about the Cardinals offense helped anyone yesterday? And people are saying, well, why can't he have an opinion? Sure, have an opinion. But then I'm going to have an opinion on your opinion. This isn't just a one-way street. And that helped no one yesterday. No one. And people are saying, well, if Marv won't bring up his role in the offense, if he won't go into Drew Petzing's offense or office and demand a role in this offense, like if Marvin Harrison Jr. won't walk in there and demand a bigger role in this offense, someone's got to do it. Sure, maybe not his dad. Maybe not his dad. I appreciate Marvin Harrison Sr. sticking up for his son. I get it. But who does it help? Who does it help? And people are saying, well, you criticize the Cardinals offense. Of course I do. I'm not the father of a player on the team. This came off to me as my daddy is really upset. Wait till my dad hears about this. And I know I actually think Marv didn't have anything to do with it. So I don't want to go after him in particular. But if you don't think Jonathan Gannon and Drew Petzing didn't pull him in a room and said, hey, man, could you tell your dad to tone it down? This doesn't help anyone. If Josh Weinfuss, good dude, by the way, who asked me about the Cardinals offense, and I said that, it's not as big of a story yesterday. No one gives a damn. But the fact that Marvin Harrison Sr. said it, it stirs the pot up in that locker room. Like, Drew Petzing's like, hey, man, what the hell? Why are you letting your dad take shots at me? Like, I actually don't think Marv had anything to do with it. So I want to, like, escape him from blame. And I'm having, like I told you guys, I'm having a baby girl in February. So maybe when I have a child, my eyes will be opened and I will be completely wrong. And I'll see it from Marvin Harrison Sr.'s perspective a little bit more. But no way in hell, when my daughter gets older, am I going to walk into her boss's office and say, dang it, this is ridiculous. My daughter needs a bigger role here. It didn't come off. Maybe fans liked it because the offense was being called out, which, by the way, the offense has looked really good for now 3 weeks. So a little late to the game there. And I saw that. Ian Keller in the chat. Marv stated he doesn't say the same views as his father. Sure. That's why I'm not going after Marv. What I'm saying is it didn't come off the right way to me. It only stirred the pot. It only made things worse. No one has been able to answer to me. No one. Who does that help? Do you really think Drew Petzing and Jacoby Brissett got in a room and said, well, Marvin Harrison Sr., he's really upset with us. We got to get his dude the ball. No. So, like, I get it. He's frustrated with the offense. He's sticking up for his son. I can understand that. Father to father here. I get it. I'm telling you, it doesn't help anyone. It didn't help anyone. People are saying, well, you go after the Cardinals offense. If Josh Weinfuss quoted me, no one would have cared. But the reason why it was such a massive story on game day, I might add, was because Marvin Harrison Sr. said that. And he meant it too. So, all speculation from Ben, has no idea if they said anything to Junior, what his dad said. Yeah, sure. Is that not obvious? Is that not obvious? That I don't know that? So, weird. Yeah, I got a lot of Marvin Harrison Sr. jokes yesterday. So, all I'm saying is, it didn't help anyone. I'm not saying I don't agree with him. The offense, for the large part of the season, has been awful. But the question is, who did it help? Did it actually help, or did it just stir the pot? Did it just stir the pot? I think it just stirred the pot. And it's dead. The story's dead now. Like, they're not going back to that because the Cardinals won, and winning cures all. But, again, all I'm saying is it did not help. I totally get sticking up for your son. And, again, maybe when my daughter's born here in February, I'll think differently. But as a son, I would hate for my dad to walk into my job and say, why isn't my son getting a bigger role? The way this place operates is terrible. And Ian Keller, he's just saying what we've all been saying. 100%. No one here is defending the offense. Well, I am now because the offense has been pretty good. What I'm saying is it didn't help anyone. In fact, I would say it made things worse. So with that being said, guys, I want to get to this really quickly, but I really got to get out of here. So I might just not get to your guys' questions. No one had a better... So give me 2 minutes on this. Last night had so much stuff. Holy cow. No one had a better night last night than Monti Ossenfort. No one had a better night last night than Arizona Cardinals general manager Monti Ossenfort. Because he's been taking some arrows over the past couple of weeks. And I think rightfully so. Marvin Harrison Jr., kind of hit or miss. Darius Robinson, to this point, kind of looks like a bust. That whole draft, Tip Reinman, Elijah Jones, didn't look great. Against the Dallas Cowboys, Walter Nolen looked like a man amongst boys, and I was just wrong there. I didn't love the pick. Like, just admit when you're wrong. Doing that here, Walter Nolen, you just know that's going to work. That's an elite. I won't say elite. That's a really good Cowboys offensive line. And what have we all been doing? Clayton Adams, woo! Look what he's doing with that Cowboys offensive line. Walter Nolen was a man amongst boys. A sack, a pass batted down, a TFL that stalled out and made the Cowboys go 4 and out in the red zone. That dude can immediately play. Pair that with how Will Johnson played last night, who has been awesome all season long. He might have hit 2 home runs in the first and second round. And then Denzel Burke making plays last night. Like, this Cardinals defense was lethal. And it was led by Cody Simon with a punch out. Denzel Burke with big pass deflections. Will Johnson, who at times had CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens in jail. And then Walter Nolen, it was all capped off by him, who was a game wrecker. Walter Nolen, truthfully, is the only reason where I'm like, maybe the Cardinals aren't out of it. You have a game wrecker like that from the interior, that can change everything defensively. And I didn't love the pick. Like, shows how much this doofus knows, but that's what, like, I like to be transparent, I like to be honest. I'll tell you guys when I'm wrong. I'm not going to stick to a bad take. That dude can play. And no one had a better night last night than Monti Ossenfort. He had a little bit of a redemption arc last night. Incredibly impressive what this defense did, and it was led by the rookies. And Monti Ossenfort, like, whoo, that draft class looks really freaking good right now. Really freaking good right now. And if it continues to go down that route, like, he's going to continue to get more praises. And I wanted to get deeper into that, but I've got to get out of here. I truthfully got to get out of here. But for the 40 people that were watching today at one point, appreciate you guys being here. For Saul, Van Heath, Michael, who's always here, Chill Peasy, who's always here, Saul, Jeffrey Gaines, Ian Keller, Sam, for all you guys in the chat that have been here, appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for continuously allowing me to do this. Chill Peasy in the chat. We got a show tomorrow. Probably. There'll probably be a show tomorrow. I normally only do 3 days, but this week's kind of weird. Normally, we are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But with that being said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 a.m. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Stay safe. Have a heck of a Wednesday. Have a heck of a Tuesday. See? I already did it wrong right there. Stay safe and go Birds. Later, guys.